I can recall during Maria, my business got affected because of the river, you know. The river expanded its bank and came all inside my bar. And then Rosa now was like, I don't know to describe it.
On the evening of September 18, 2017, Hurricane Maria made a landfall in Dominica. The devastation was widespread, directly affecting nearly 80% of the population. Maria also decimated the landscape and biodiversity, with the country losing 85% of its forest. But nature, like Dominica, is resilient. In the years following Maria, Dominica's forest cover regenerated, complemented by a nationwide tree planting program.
The Hurricane Maria impact on Dominica could have been much worse. The forest took a brunt of it before it actually reached some of the populated areas.
Today, forests cover more than 60% of the island, more than any other in the Caribbean, and are home to many different species, including the Jacko parrot, ground lizard, agouti, and manico possum.
So like the other Caribbean islands, Dominica is not one of the islands with white sand and beaches that tourists used to come to. But our forest, nature of our island is what is most important to us.
The World Bank and the government of Dominica are working side by side to invest in a resilient future for the island by laying the foundations for a sustainable forest economy. This effort began with improving the regulations surrounding the management of Dominica's forests. In 2022, the government, with support from ProGreen, a global partnership for sustainable and resilient landscapes, developed and adopted the National Forest Policy, providing Dominica with a framework for the sustainable management and conservation of the island's forest resources.
The forest policy itself really guides what citizens ought to do and what is the government committed to do. And so it will encapsulate a lot of the protective areas to ensure that while we protect nature, we also provide livelihoods to people in and around the forested area.
We're very, very happy for that, and the support that, again, the World Bank and ProGreen and others provided for that.
Beyond conserving the forest, this policy, the country's first since 1949, has laid the regulatory foundations on which the country can catalyze economic development. With financing from the Global Environment Facility, the government and the World Bank are building the island's ecotourism industry by modernizing Dominica's forested protected areas. This involves improving infrastructure on trails, providing skills-based trainings to local communities, and piloting an e-ticketing platform for tourists prior to arrival. It also empowers forest-adjacent communities to partake in decision-making around the management of protected areas, including the Kalinago, the island's indigenous people. The Kalinago territories, which dot the island's eastern edge, have the highest poverty rates on the island. Under the project, the Kalinago will have greater access to jobs and skills, as well as mapping of their territory's natural resources, which helps preserve traditional knowledge, protects land rights, and assists with the sustainable management of their territories.
It's not only about the tourism product, but it's also our cultural heritage, maintaining our cultural heritage. And so the work that is being done in the territory will definitely contribute to enhancing, promoting and preserving the Kalinago heritage and culture.
Though Hurricane Maria's devastation will be remembered for some time, Dominica's path to resilience, which balances conservation and economic development, yields hope.
All in itself is working around nature, is really working around nature and building an economic base for our country. I really envisage that life is going to be a little better for all of Dominica.
Dominica's story stands out as a beacon for the climate-vulnerable Caribbean region and beyond. The World Bank Group continues to support our partners, like Dominica, to deliver investments in forests for people, nature, and climate.